Welcome, I'm Chloe Thomas, the creator of the eCommerce MasterPlan and the author of these 3 e-commerce books, all designed to do what we do at eCommerce MasterPlan, which is to help small e-commerce businesses succeed. Today, I'm going to take you through another of our quick-fire 2015 trends briefings, because I know that all of you out there want to know what you should be focusing on in 2015. What should be on that 2015 to-do list? Well, hopefully I can help you add or remove something from that today. With our trends briefings, the aim of them is to give you a very quick guide to each topic. We'll be covering them in much more detail later this year, but the real aim here is to help you understand in a really quick way what each key trend actually is, other than just the buzzwords, how it might relate to your business, so the questions you should be asking to help you work out if it's relevant for you, and then what your first step should be if it is relevant for your business to take advantage of this trend or mitigate the danger this trend is for your business. Today we're going to be talking about platform theory, and platform theory is a really fascinating set of theories around how it's believed the internet is going to be evolving. There's a sentence that tells you nothing about the theory at all. So let's see if I can do a bit better. We'll change the way you start to think about the internet, and it's all to do with this concept of there being different platforms on the internet, not just the internet as being a platform in its own mind. So these 2 books, which are all available on Amazon, are kind of the polar opposites of platform theory. On the left, you've got a book that's all about how to create your own platform. And you'll see they're referring to Amazon, Apple, Facebook, etc. as being platforms. And on the right-hand side, you've got people talking about, you've got a book that's all about how to use someone else's platform to build your business, to build your brand. So on the right, it's all about using Twitter, Facebook, the places where people hang out online, to get people to become your tribe, to become part of your business, part of your list, as it were, in the e-commerce world. My take on this is a bit of a twist, and it's based on the reason why these big platforms work. And the reason why the platforms such as Facebook, Amazon, YouTube, the reasons they're so successful, both consumers love them and businesses love them as well, so the users, those who are paying for the services, love them too, is in my mind threefold. First off, consumer familiarity. So the customer knows it, they're happy with it, they trust it, they're used to going onto Amazon, they're used to going onto eBay, they're used to using Google for their search engine. Why do everybody ever use Google rather than Yahoo? I'd say it's pretty heavily on familiarity, not just on the quality of the search results. The other benefit of platforms, the other reason they're so successful, is economies of scale. There are certain things that every website has to worry about, so hosting, for example. Now, on a platform, that worry as a user is taken away from you. So if you're running a page on Facebook, so a business page on Facebook, you don't need to worry about the hosting, you don't need to worry about the bandwidth, you don't need to worry about the security, because that's all done for you by Facebook. So Facebook does it. The platform looks after some of those elements, because it's a lot easier for them to do it for each individual person for free than it would be to start charging for it, because the economies of scale are such that the numbers become very, very small in those pieces. So a lot gets taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about it. Now, the other side of a lot being taken care of for you is the restrictive nature of platforms. So on a platform, there's lots of stuff you can't do. On Amazon, there's a lot of things, if you're selling products on Amazon, you can't do. There's limits on how the pictures look, there's limits on how the text appears, there's limits on the color of the price, the color of the button, where it goes, there's limits on what the navigational structure is. Likewise, if you're using Facebook pages, it's blue. If you want Facebook to be green, it's not going to happen. It's a blue screen. or a blue design rather. So there's a lot of restrictions on what you can do, and those restrictions are a really good thing, because it means that you focus on the important stuff, the stuff that will make the difference to your performance. So on Facebook, you're not worrying about what font things should be in, because you've only got one font. Therefore, you worry about the message. You worry about getting that image as good as it can be. You worry about getting the right thing in front of the right person at the right time, rather than worrying about whether that navigation bar should be to the left or the right, because Facebook's worrying about it for you. And that actually, I think, is one of the most compelling reasons for us to be using platforms, because they take so many things off our plate, and both in a good way, so they worry about the hosting, but also in the fact that they save us from having to worry about things because we just can't change them. They restrict our options, which means we can really focus on the key areas for our business. So that's kind of just explaining the platform theory and those key benefits of platforms. So here's my twist for e-commerce on platform theory. And I believe that in the e-commerce world, we are heading towards a point where, and some of you will get what I'm going to be talking about by the logos that just come up on the screen. I believe we're getting to a point where in the next 5 years, the majority of successful e-commerce sites are going to be based on a common software platform. Probably one of these 4 as it currently stands, or there may be someone new who comes into the mix. But people are going to adopt an e-commerce platform to build their own e-commerce website on, rather than going to your mate down the road to build you a bespoke site. And I believe the bigger companies are going to get bigger. Those with more customers in this space are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Simply because, just with any other platform, the platforms of Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, Volusion, the 4 biggest ones in the world right now, there's elements of customer familiarity in there. So the end user, your customer, can be looking at these and thinking, okay, that looks familiar. I know this checkout. I'm used to going through this checkout process. You have the ability to contact lots of other e-commerce businesses in order to speak to them about how they're using it. So there's an element of group learning going on. So there's a lot of consumer familiarity. They're fairly restrictive in places. There's things you can't do. There's things you can't look at, which means you get to focus on the better things. And there's a lot of economies of scale. A lot is taken care of for you. Obviously, each of these are quite different. But I seriously believe that we're going to be getting to the point in the fairly near future where most of the e-commerce website design agencies and website builders are going to be migrating over to these software platforms and specializing in them, because that's the best way to help their clients build their businesses. Now, Ecos, top right there, that's a very new platform that's just come on the market, and they're designed to help you go international within 24 hours. So if you're on most of those platforms in front of us there, and you want to test out a brand new marketplace, you can have a fully working e-commerce website tailor-made for that area, be it Germany, Australia, Ireland, wherever you want to put it, up and running within 24 hours, which is another great benefit of platform theory. I know that's going to be, as they grow, it's going to be very, very groundbreaking. I'm sure a few others will come into the marketplace too, but it's a good example of how platform theory can take away all that hard work by combining things and creating these economies of scale. So you can still look like your website still mirrors your branding, but it enables you to move that bit further ahead, that bit faster. So I said I'd keep it brief. So this is our last but one slide. Here's your questions to ask. Do you need a new site in 2015? If you don't need a new site in 2015, then you probably don't need to worry about platform theory in 2015. Do you want a new site in 2015? If you do, and if you do need a new site in 2015, you should definitely be looking at which platform you should be building it on. So your to-do, if you are in either of those cases, is to identify the right platforms for your business. If you're in the position where you're not planning a new site for 2015, keep an eye on, keep a subtle eye, not an active eye on this kind of stuff, and see what's happening, ready for when you do want that website. But really, this is one which is only really relevant for those of you planning on building a site in 2015, and I strongly advise you to be building it on a platform that is being used by multiple retailers of a similar size and with similar goals and operating procedures to yourselves. By operating procedures, I mean Amazon, eBay, and those kind of platforms. So that is our very quick guide to platform theory to enable you to work out whether it's relevant for your e-commerce business this year. The other briefings are all available. Access to all of those is via ecommercemasterplan.com. Thank you very much and goodbye.